So one more time welcome everyone, and thank you for joining this workshop. My name is Ilija. I am coming from Macedonia, and I will be your facilitator for this 1 hour. Hope that we will have some interesting time all together. I am facilitator for IC Agile, the International Agile Organization, where I'm giving some 6 different topics like Agile coaching, Agile leadership, etc. And also a member of Management 3.0, you know, this strong Agile culture that we are building everywhere. And today I will actually go with a few of the tools that we have in our portfolio. Maybe you can see at the moment on your table you have this poster, you have this moving motivator, something else plus. So we will go one by one through all of them. Hopefully that maybe you will find some purpose in using them within your teams. So I would like at the beginning just to one quick check up how many people here are related to human resources, to HR. Let's see, we have 5, 6 people. And the rest of you, can we say that you belong to some Scrum Master, Product Owner part? Can we have? So, majority. Okay. So, please, well, you're welcome to ask me anything at any moment of time. So I'm not telling these rules like at the end, Q&A, etc. I think that through co-working and through discovering at the moment, it's better if we learn. You know, we are always practicing this hands-on learning when it's better if you don't plan too much, don't think too much, but start jumping, start using the tool or whatever, and then ask questions. And you are totally free here, safe. There are no dumb questions, stupid questions. Nobody will make jokes with all of you. You are like, you know, the Vegas rules. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So you are here totally protected. And please, I would like to hear from you any type of questions, sharing, you know, agreements, disagreements, and that's it. And actually, with this part, I started something that we call in the Agile teams like working agreement. Yeah. So it's very important that we know, all of us, that we have some goal in this 1 hour, and that we agree that we can ask questions, no silly questions. Everybody's opinion is okay. Knowledge sharing is something that we should. And the last one, have fun, enjoy in the conversations with your teammates here as you are in your teams, and it's for the beginning from me. So what are we going to discuss today? You see, employee experience. It's, or EX. It's something that we heard probably from customer experience, product experience. You have probably in some of your software development companies, you have this user experience, you know, and always we speak about some kind of experience. And when we speak what experience is, or what employee experience is, well, it's the experience that we are having during our stay at work. So it's related to many factors, to many elements. How the company have created this environment for us. So is it for us okay to go there, to work there? Are they giving us remote working or not? Are you, I don't know, if you are at the moment in Twitter or in Facebook, probably you will not, your experience will not be very great at this moment because you know of these changes that are happening there because of the new managers, etc. But eventually, all the time, we have to think about our people and how to improve this experience. And if we go to some data, to some findings, you can Google this humi.com. It's interesting website. Let's call it a new type of Gallup or other research agency, which are trying to help people, companies, how to improve their work by measuring by a lot of data. And according to some of the recent findings, you can see here some of the top 5 things why people would leave their employer, why they will leave their company. And the biggest percentage is the well-being. So probably there is a lot of workload, a lot of tasks to deliver, which have redesigned a little bit their work-life balance. So they need more time, more space. Then you see something number 2 and number 5. It's important for them when they will work and where they will work. So it's probably the remote working is something that is becoming very dominant. We are trying now to reinvent this hybrid, to redesign this hybrid model, which is not very easy to implement. I'm coaching few organizations, and I see how difficult it is to bring people 1 day in the week or 2 days or even every day. It's not an easy job to bring everybody because 2-3 years we created some habits that it's okay to work remotely, I'm delivering my results, why you need me there, I'm more comfortable if I work from home, etc. But there are some other advantages of, this working in the office. Is it the bonding that is created, the real teamwork, sharing the culture, sharing the values that we are building. So, of course, that there are many advantages of the office working. Then you can see that for many people, this development and growth is important. So I know that the HR people here in the room probably they're hearing every time during interviews like, okay, how is the development in your company? Will you develop me? How looks your onboarding? How are you sending your people to some certifications? So this process is very important because we are asking from people to give high performance, to be better, and it's not doable if we don't help them develop. And you see, there is no money here, maybe because it is not a statistic made here in the Balkan region. If it was made in Macedonia or Serbia, probably number 1 would be salary, money, bonuses, something like I leave because they don't pay me very well. And I hear from some of your colleagues from here, I give in Monday and Tuesday the HR workshop, they said, we are having this money issue all the time, so they are coming every month asking for raise. So I will give him raise this month. After 1 or 2 months he comes again, he asks more, and they are somehow showing us maybe those are some bluffs that I will go in this new company, they offer me 500 or 1,000 euro more, etc., etc. And if we enter in such a situation, we are the losers. It's not so easy to win this constant giving and not returning, not taking. So this is why it's very important to understand what people need and how to design this system where everybody will be okay to stay as long as possible. So we have to continuously improve our environment. Gallup was measuring engagement so long. You see the red line actually is employees' engagement. It was at the beginning when they started some 20 years ago, somewhere between 25 and 30% of employees who are actually engaged in their work. And then we see some small rising somewhere before COVID, 2018, 19, and then it starts declining. On the other side, the blue dot is the people who are disengaged, who are not contributing, who are, passive. They are not willing to engage in their work, and their percentage is increasing these days. And we hear about some new phenomena like quiet quitting and these great resignations and something else that is really making us wonder what's going on. What's this quiet quitting? Why are they doing that? Why are they disengaged? They just came in our company, we just started, and now look, they are not satisfied. And that's why we say it's important to find some areas, some metrics where it's better to measure. If Gallup 20 years cannot give us the magic formula how to increase engagement, maybe we are doing the wrong thing. Maybe we should start measuring something else that can really help us improve the engagement. And this is why we say through measuring the entire experience of our people, and going through all these stages of their staying, from the time when they will understand about our company, be attracted from our HR people, and through all this process, you see here these 8 steps until the time when they will leave the organization. We have to do something to improve their experience. So they will be satisfied, motivated, engaged, happy. So many things are here important. Something interesting is now happening in some big IT companies like Microsoft, like Google, where they are actually not measuring anymore the engagement. And when we speak of engagement, it's very simple. It's when you love your job, what you're doing. For example, you're a developer, and I love being developer. And then because the company is providing me good things, I love also my company. So really engage people. These, like here with the red dots, are people who work in your companies, who love their job, and who love being there. So they are your really loyal person. So they will give the extra mile. They will always be full of ideas, proactivity. This is something that we want to see. But you see, it's not very easy to improve this. How difficult it is to make more of your employees be engaged. And this is why if you check this in these statistics, these things here, where it says they want meaningful work, they want to be developed, etc. The new metric that now companies are implementing is thriving. So they say, and when they say thriving, they say, am I engaged? No, am I energized? They say, am I energized? Am I empowered from my company, from my team, to do a meaningful job? And if we separate these 3 things and measure somehow the empowerment, the energizing, and are we providing for them meaningful work, then probably it's easier to measure and you can take some action steps. If we speak meaningful work, all of you know, take some good projects, some interesting projects where they will develop software or whatever they are doing, you know, not some boring projects. And I see very often these days people say, I am switching my company because in this new company they have some more interesting projects. So you see, it's very relevant. The percentage, this 69, 70%. Let's think how to make more interesting job for our people. It will help us. How to improve this empowerment when they say, I want to be empowered. Is it enough only to develop him, to tell him, to teach him how to work, but also maybe give him more authority, give him more responsibility, and go into this self-managing, self-organizing teams, you know, when they will have this autonomy to work as they want, because they say when they work and where they work. So if we focus more on thriving, maybe we can take better ideas how to improve our experience, total experience for our people, and improve it. And this is why we say here, let's analyze all these steps, these 8 stages, and see where can we be better. So now in this moment, I would like to ask you for one small exercise, and it's nice as you are here like teams, you have these posters. Just go through the posters. You can only discuss, or maybe you can write something, take a note about where is my company at the moment in each of these stages. Think like you are now from the perspective of the candidate, somebody who would like to join. How is your talent acquisition process? How is your process of selection, hiring? You know, for example, Google, they say 500 people are applying for one position there. But when they ask these 500 people, a lot of them give very bad feedback because they say so many interviews, so many tests, so many months waiting I'm hired or not, you know. So the response was the experience at this stage here, recruitment for Google is not good. People are not happy. So the smiley is, you know, the angry smiley they will put, not the happy smiley. So just think about your organization, discuss a little bit within your teams as you're sitting here, and that's it. This is the short 5-minute exercise. Okay? Go through the stages and see, maybe you will find some interesting idea. Yes, yeah. If you are here too many, maybe you can split in 2 teams. You are here 1 team and they are the second. Yeah, it's good. Yes, this is for you. This is for you. We don't have this 4. You are a team of 4 people. You are the team of 4 people here, okay?
Whereas
Okay, folks, can we move on? I would like to ask you a little bit, each of the teams, about some of your findings. So, this team here, what can you say that is the most challenging stage? To engage them. So, after the onboarding is finished, until all the time that they are part of the organization, how to engage them is.
Like to feel that they are like owners of that organization, to engage them to the decisions on strategy of the organization.
To acquire this entrepreneurship mindset that yes, you are here like being a boss, being the owner, so taking care about the company, being innovative, creative, something like that, right?
Yes.
And especially when you work remotely, how double difficult it is. Attending Zooms where they're hiding, not opening the camera. Or you don't know, is he on time or maybe he's late, not contributing, maybe they're doing something in the background, etc. Okay? Something from your team where you find some maybe challenge in which of the stages?
Probably the engagement.
Uh-huh.
Because the others don't matter. You will get people, let's say you get persons that work for you, but how you keep them there. The engagement is important. Make them feel part of it.
Yeah.
If they are there sitting just for 8 hours doing something, and they just come at the end of the day, it means nothing. So it's just a matter of time until I will feel bored.
Yeah.
You engage them by giving them power.
Yeah.
You make them feel part of something that they are working together to find.
Very good. Yeah. And actually, those people that you mentioned are the so-called quiet quitters who are here, coming every day. They are doing the, let's say, standard work or maybe minimum work, but nothing else. They will never go the extra mile. Yeah. And we have to find the answer why. Why are they behaving? Okay, from your team, where do you see some big challenges?
We didn't have time to talk each other because it's interesting.
If you have to pick one of the stages where you see some.
We are a pretty diverse group. We have telecom on one side and a development company on the other. And telecom probably has the biggest issue of attracting engineers. We talk about engineers because of salary primary. And on the other hand, like software development company, development and performance is probably the stage where we struggle most.
Okay. Yes, this problem with talent, finding the right people, attracting them, this employer branding is, I think always it was a challenge. Always we're lacking, especially these days, software developers are really very needed. And this is maybe one of the reasons why their wages, their salaries are a little, there is a big difference between software people and other areas. And some industries, they are suffering because people are leaving. I see in Macedonia, people are leaving from factories and joining some no-name startups because of better salary and better working environment, more freedom, more autonomy, remote working, all these things that are happening into these type of organizations. Okay, thank you. And something from your team, where do you find some?
Attracting candidates and the exits.
The exit, something about the exit. Have you seen a little bit here this so-called boomerang effect when for some reason they will come to you and say, I want to quit, I find a better job. And then after a few months, he's coming back, or through some people, he's trying to.
A few months,
Yeah.
exits.
We see a lot this trend is coming, that very easily people are attracted from some of your competitors maybe or somebody else, and then when they will go there and see that it's not so beautiful as it was promised, they would like to come back. And this is why in this agile environment we are more flexible for this phenomenon, this boomerang. We would like to make the experience, even when they are leaving, to be okay, to be healthy, to be friendly, and maybe someday they will come back and be more productive, more loyal. They will learn the lesson. So it's not like we are closing the doors, you cannot enter here anymore. We are going through the opposite, because we think that people is okay to make mistakes, to learn on the mistakes, and that's it. I cannot keep you by force here. I'm letting you go, but think a little bit, and maybe after a few months we can speak. Some questions maybe you have regarding this? We're all good here? Okay. So what else? We all speak about this premise, doing agile and being agile. We probably you speak a little bit, you listen to the first speakers at the conference today when we heard about some things, and we are working every day probably in some of these frameworks, and we know very well when we are dedicated, disciplined, and we work Scrum by the book, we are doing only Scrum. But where we want to go to the being agile or being Scrum, where we need to shift our mindset. So very often we see in our organizations, people are using the framework, but they are not really changing their mindset. So they still have some of the beliefs, some of the habits from the previous organizations, or if they are younger, maybe their mindset is still not this so-called growth mindset as we would like to see. And this is why we say we need some spice, some things. Here comes Management 3.0 with many of these tools that we think that can help us to build the mindset, to help teams, organizations quickly to adapt their people's mindset into this agile environment. Why? Because we think that when we are creating some kind of experiences, people will start shaping their beliefs. For example, 2 years ago when we started working remotely, maybe for some of you it was not the first time, probably you were working remotely even before COVID, but what I have seen with many organizations, it was the first time when they start using Zooms and online selling, online meetings. It was wow for them. And their managers didn't believe that they will perform, that they will work, that they will deliver, that they will sell. I had so many questions with this type of companies, people. And then I said, give them time, develop them, work with them, let them learn how to Zoom, how to work online, and you will see that they will adapt. And after 1 month, eventually they adapt it. For 1 month, they start selling by the phones, by the internet, etc. You know, so nothing dramatically happened to these organizations. Why? Because they quickly adapted to this. And this new experience now changed their beliefs. Yeah, you can sell by the phone, you can sell online, you can sell through the social media. Why? Because 1 month you were doing that, and now you see it is working. So now, whenever I see these staff managers, like, okay, do you trust now that you can sell online your people or by the phone? It is not only selling happening in the restaurants or in life. Yeah, you were right. All good. We were lucky. We have good people. So we have to create the experience, and eventually, after some time, people will start shaping their beliefs. And when they will change their beliefs, all the time they will find some new approaches, some new solutions. How can I be better? Is it the remote working or whatever profession you are, you can try different things. And these different things will create many times better results, but sometimes also not so good results. But at the end, we are working differently. We are not having this approach. This is the only way how we can develop software or whatever you're doing, sell. No, there are different approaches. And this is why we think that we have to work with our people, create for them experiences, and then eventually they will start changing their beliefs. With some of these tools that we will work now, I hope you will catch a little bit this point. At this moment now, I would like only to, I will open now the slide. You will see some pictures. Try to remember at least 5 objects from the picture, okay, in 4 seconds. Okay, one by one. We have somebody with 5 who remember 5 things. Yes?
Ship, panda, baby, watch, and cell phone.
Cell phone, okay. Somebody else? 5 or 4, maybe, yes?
On that, coffee and tennis racket.
Uh-huh, okay.
And the guitar, electric guitar.
Uh-huh, okay. Okay, so what happened now? You actually, we have some, I don't know, more than 20, 30 different objects. Maybe it's a little too distant for all of you to see if you don't see very well, like me. And maybe some of you were focused to only one part of the screen because there were only 4 minutes. But I can guarantee you that if I tell you, please write the 5 things or 4 things on a sticky note, they will all be different. Why it is so? Because we all have different mindset. We all have different perspective. Many things are shaping our way of thinking, our mindset, because the mindset is our way of thinking. How are we thinking about the life, about the work, and all these things? And human brain cannot process, he can, process a million things in one day. But if he do that, it will burn the human brain. And this is why there are some mechanisms which is protecting the human brain, and he is not accepting everything. This is why sometimes we have these beliefs, no, this will not work, it's not going to happen, etc. These are these limits that we have in our beliefs, in our mindset. And this is why we're all so different on the other side, which is helping us to create a better things, to be more creative, to be innovative. Because if we all have the same mindset, if all 20 people here in the room saw only 4 same things, then we have super specialized team. But these days, how important is to have so specialized teams? Probably it's better if you have more diverse teams. And this is some benefits and pros and cons of this mindset. Sometimes it's better if you have people with different mindset, but there are a lot of difficulties to work with such a team. This is why we say in Scrum, let's keep small teams, not bigger than 10 people, because if you have 20 people, 20 different mindsets, very difficult to create some kind of working agreement. Everybody will have different needs, different views. This is why we have to follow some practices, how it's better to work. And how to use this diversity that we have in our team in our advantage, like team innovations, creativity, such a things are very important in your industry. And for these reasons, we think that improving the engagement, as you mentioned, it's important for you, is somehow connected to a few things. The first thing that we think here is important is this creating of this safety net, as you see on the picture, or psychological safety. And when we speak about this psychological safety, it's the mindset that it's okay to fail. Okay, it's okay to be a team player. I know about myself, it was very difficult for me to become a team player. I was always solo player, individual. I think I can do it faster, I can do it better. Yeah, but eventually, working on some projects with my people, I was angry too many times, like, and couldn't oppose, because, you know, you have to be team player, you have to make team decisions, consensus, all these things. And then, time by time, I saw many other benefits. And when I start measuring, it's better when you work in team. And this safety net can help us, this psychological safety can help us to improve the engagement and the entire experience of people within our organizations. According to Professor Amy Edmondson, how we work, how are we designing our system, our culture, our environment, we can create these 4 types of people. So if we push too much, a lot of workload, a lot of tasks, small number of people, a lot of things to deliver, we can create anxiety. Why? Because we are pushing them too much. Short deadlines, or this mindset, we cannot fail, we must win, we must succeed, we must have release every sprint. You know, all these things can create anxiety. And then people get sick, people start being absent, not coming at work, and then our productivity fails. When you will check your burn-down chart, you will see the productivity is not good these days when we have people who are stressed, who are more in this anxiety zone. If we are very good, and I see this democracy, freedom, autonomy, then we can create this comfort zone, or the so-called slackers. And I see these slackers, how they explain, they say we have this one day in the week when we were begging them, please come one day only, work remotely, but one day come at work. When they will come at work in the office, they're not doing anything. They're having all the time some breakfast, grabbing some food, playing the PlayStations, like they are tourists. So they say, what did we create it? We created them to come one day, and this why them no productivity, zero productivity. They don't work. Maybe it was better if they stay at home, they will work more. So we don't want to create these slackers. So if we create this too big comfort zone, a lot of freedom, this is what will happen. If we don't do anything, no initiative, no ideas, nothing is going on, no new projects, no development, nothing, no onboarding, in all these stages, if we have bad scores, we will create this apathy where people will start thinking like, what am I doing here? And start searching in LinkedIn for other jobs, for posting for other to leave the company. So we don't want our people here as well. Where we want them? In this learning zone. The zone where we will continuously engage them, so they will not have the chance to think about leaving the company or being so comfort, etc., etc. So continuously empowering them all the time, working, trainings, different activities, like you are now here. Yeah, you are attending conferences, etc. So when you are making their job, their workplace more interesting, more meaningful, you are actually building this learning zone, these learning organizations. And only this is one of the best approaches how to succeed in these difficult times. And here in this area, we think that this learning organization can help you also with this talent acquisition problems that you may have, because they will say, look, if I go there, they have so good learning and development programs. They have mentorship programs, buddy systems, something, certifications. All the times they are working on different meaningful projects. So a lot of good things are happening, and they would like to be part of your organizations. This is why we want, during the acquisition, during the hiring process, to bring the right people in our team. Those people we call people with growth mindset. So we are always searching for cultural fit. Even how important, for example, the competence is for us, the technical skills, we prefer cultural fit. Because if we design this learning organization with all this mentorship, inside certifications, people who are sharing knowledge, communities of practices, we don't have to be afraid that they will not learn, that they will not be developed. But the mindset, the culture is, difficult to change. And this is why cultural fit is very important. So then we are bringing actually the fresh blood and the right blood in our team. This is why we prefer, if we have to choose between people with growth mindset and fixed mindset, we would always say yes to people with growth mindset. People who are willing to change. Okay, we were working until now with, Angular. Let's shift to React. Is it okay for you? Yeah. We were working in Microsoft Teams. Let's move to Slack. They say Slack is something interesting. Maybe it will be better for us. If you see people who will now start with this Slacking, it's boring, we don't need it, people who don't want to change, those are the people with fixed mindset. We need people who are adaptable, who have these values of agility. And if we bring the right people in our team, then we are creating this learning organization. Also regarding the way, how are we developing them? How are reaching them to mastery? A lot of discussions here. One of the approaches that we think it's working very well, it's proven, is the Shuhari model from the Japanese martial arts, where at the beginning, when he is becoming part of our team, he has to follow the rule. The Scrum Master, probably you have seen these movies like Star Wars, where Yoda is the master and Skywalker is the apprentice. There always must be two, Yoda says, the master and the apprentice. You have to listen to me. I will teach you. Don't do it differently. If we give too much freedom to them and we don't teach them as it should be by the book, then we are not creating a real Scrum, a real Agile. We are creating zombie Scrum, so-called, or fake. Yeah. So this is why it's important to start by following the rule and listen to your teacher, who is appointed to you. Is it the Agile coach? Is it the Scrum Master? Or some leader, whatever. Then when the master will see that you are okay, you have improved your skill, at some moment of time he will say, okay, now you can break the rules. I don't need you for this a few days for the dailies. Decide who will be facilitator for your Scrum dailies, okay? So you can even change the way how are you going to organize your daily. Maybe 15 minutes are not enough, are too much. Maybe you can finish in 5 minutes. Maybe you don't need to go with the 3 questions. It's okay. Why? Because this team, the people in this team, are now at level 2 and they can break the rule. But before that, they were following the rule. They were going by the book. And eventually, most of the organizations, the teams are here somewhere between 1 and 2. The final is when the team will become the rule by itself. It will be the high-performance team. They can do it as they want because they have reached mastery. So this is the way how we are building this learning organization. This is the steps that we are following, and they are leading people to mastery because we want to create a better version of all of us, not to be a standard worker who says, I don't need to become better. I'm okay with what I have. I don't want to learn anymore. I don't want to grow. I'm okay. These are the fixed mindsets that we want to change. And for that reason, motivation is very important. So now here, quickly, we're finishing in the next 15 minutes with the topic of motivation. Probably you have all heard about this. Today, the speaker mentioned this X and Y approach. Some of these known motivational gurus have developed different theories. You have heard also about the Maslow pyramid of needs. Here, what I'm sharing you is the concept of two factors of Friedrich Herzberg, where he says there are some hygiene factors which are leading to satisfaction. So if we have some, let's say, democratic corporate policy, where it's the employer, the persons, the people are in advantage than the rules in the company, where you can give advantage to people that it's something which is okay. When we are building relationship between people, they become better friends. When we are using some management styles which are also more democratic, more servant. The working conditions, if we see that our people prefer remote working and we can provide them for them, why keep some big offices in the center of town and pay so much money for renting when people would like to work from home? So these are some mandatory things that, or so-called hygiene factors, that if we create, people will be satisfied. They will like to stay. And when we have these hygiene factors on a nice level, then we are creating higher retention. So people will not like to leave. But we need to go the extra mile. We need to make them improve this engagement, results, creativity, innovations. Then we have to use some motivators. Motivators which can be connected to, let's say, somehow of achievement. So if you achieve this, you can be promoted or something else. Recognized, where people see that their job is recognized. Challenging work, when they are working on different challenging projects. When we are giving them bigger level of accountability, of responsibility. All these things are improving the motivation, and then the motivation will improve the results, the time of finishing the job, you know, the creativity, more ideas, etc. So it is not mandatory, but if we do it, we can gain more things from our people. And for that reason, we are fostering this so-called intrinsic motivator, which is motivation that is coming from inside you. So I was intrinsically motivated to be here with you today because I love a lot my job, working with people, training, teaching, all these things. But also, I'm would appreciate if I received nice feedback from you, that you will say, yes, Ilija, thank you for this workshop. It was okay, it helped us. So your voice, your recognition will be also important for me. So you see, we can say, yes, intrinsically, motivation is important, but also many of the things that are coming in the real life are extrinsically, like the work in your team. When I would give kudos to my teammate, I'm doing this extrinsic motivator, you know. So there is no formula. You can go only with these things. There must be a mix between extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. And for this reason, we have this game. Now here you will see on your table these moving motivators. And how are we using this game? Take your deck of cards, use them and prioritize them as you see here on the picture. So pick the three first, which are the mandatory, that you think that they are motivating you, and they are the most important drivers that you have. I believe that all 10 are important, but you can prioritize first the first three. Then you can go with the last three that you say, I can go without them somehow. They are important, but at the moment, maybe I can live, I can be motivated even without some of these things. And what happens in the middle is something also valuable. So try to organize them and reflect a little bit. Why I'm now here? Why is this motivating me? And please share these things with your teammates. Try to see a kind of team motivations. Do you share some of these values? Do you share some of these motivators? When you will find some patterns, some similarity within your teams here, actually you are building the system. And then you can say, if we have in our team these three things, then the majority of our teammates will be motivated. So it's a very easy tool to check what is motivating your people.
kudos.
Nije možda zadovoljno nešto.
Okay, folks, so we are coming to the end of our time. So just only 2 more minutes of your time and we are finishing. So what you have discovered with this tool, people are opening up, they are sharing their views, what is motivating me. When you are doing it through some retrospective, you You will sense the energy within your team. And if you measure, track this, because we speak about empiricism all the time in Agile, and if you put these findings in one Excel sheet, sort them from the first until the last one, you will receive a kind of spider diagram, or maybe this with percentages, and you will see, for example, curiosity in our team is 22%. Let's say mastery is 18%. Where we have the last, well, we have in order only 5%. So you will prioritize 5, 6, which are the essential, the most important, and you must find a way how to make your system that these few elements, they are existing in your team. Then you are actually motivating the entire team. And this is what we call manage the system, not the people. You are accepting everyone as he is. You're not trying to change him. No, you're changing the system. So everything that you have heard from your people, what is regarding the mastery, we want a certification exercise. We want to be connected, I don't know, to Udemy and to have a lot of courses. Whatever you see are good tips working, you will implement them. And this is the system that you're doing. One other tip for people from HR, when you are doing your interviews, use this tool instead of going with, I don't know, 5 questions, 10 questions. Just let your candidate sort the moving motivators and then start asking him questions. You will see that this tool will help you in defining this cultural fit, because all these are actually values. Freedom. Okay, what means freedom for you? And he will tell you what freedom means for him, and you are seeing, is he really going to fit in your organization with his perspective on freedom, what freedom means for him? Or if he wants order, and you have in your team big democracy, not too many rules, etc., then maybe he will not be the best fit, etc., etc. So many ways how you can use this tool and combine it with this canvas. You see this big canvas here. What is interesting in this canvas? It's the retrospective canvas, but it is designed differently. You know, during retrospectives, we have to define the 3 things. What should we stop working? We call them here failures or mistakes when we are working the wrong way. What we should continue working, those are the good practices that are working. We are good with this way of working. Let's say we work remotely, it's okay, let's continue working remotely. And then here are the experiments, the new things that you think you should try. For example, moving motivators, new tool, I just discovered in Belgrade on Scrum Gathering. Let me make experiment with my team. And let's see, will this lead to success? Or maybe developers, my teammate, they will say, oh, it's nonsense, where you find this stupid game, yeah? So we have to try, to give a try, to make experiments if we want to find the best way how our people will be more engaged, more interesting. So just one more retrospective, let's say, template that can help you work with your team and improving all these things that you have. This was everything from my side. Thank you for the one time that I took from you. I put on your desk these kudo cards. So just take one card and write one kudo to somebody from your team, because I think that in 1 hour, maybe some value gives somebody to you. Just write him a kudo, like who is giving the kudo, for what value, and to whom. And let's finish our workshop with one good gesture, one sharing our gratitude, how grateful we are. The important is also the way how are you going to give it. So hugs and everything are okay.
Sad ću reći kako što mi je palo na pamet. Imam drugara, kolegu našeg Ilija iz Sarajeva, koji je živio Tešić. Ovo je pravo.
One more information for all of you. Like facilitator of Management 3.0, I create this like a workshop in the system. So I believe that all of you have visited management30.com. If you go on the first page, you will see these workshops. In the other part, you will find this employer experience. And for those of you who would like to receive a certificate and a badge to put it on LinkedIn, just find the workshop there or just write an email to me. It's very simple, ilco, E-L-C-O, @cms.com.mk. And I will be glad to update these things in the system and to share the certificate with you. Thank you, Ivana. Thank you very much. Thanks.